Hi, so my name is Lena Engström and I'm from McGill University, and I have been will be presenting work I've been doing with Tami Pereg-Barnea from McGill University and Witczak-Krempa from Université de Montréal. I've been studying the compound Sr2IrO4 and some cases where we can see interesting multiorbital effects. So a short intro to this compound. This is the perovskite iridate, which had turned out to be surprisingly similar to high TC superconducting cuprates. They are a multi-orbital system, but due to the strong spin-orbit coupling, they do separate out a band of mainly J-effective 1/2 character. And what we see is that the ground state of this system is this antiferromagnetic insulated state. This is very similar to the cuprates, but the difference here is that the magnetic moments that we see are not spins, but actually this J-effective 1/2 pseudospins. And due to the strong spin-orbit coupling, they do couple more strongly to the underlying rotations of the lattice, so we get this net moment and a canted antiferromagnet. Now, due to being so similar to the cuprates, it has been predicted that they would be a D-wave superconductor when doped. However, experiments has turned out not to be conclusive about if it is superconducting, and theory has shown some other interesting properties, among them some multiorbital properties that I will be looking at here. So what I'm doing in this project is that I'm considering a free orbital model that moves away from the simplest J-effective 1/2, and I'm studying Hubbard-Kanemaru interactions. I'm analyzing this with a self-consistent mean field analysis, and on top of this, I'm adding an external magnetic field because this will change the orbital contributions to the system. And I'm also combining it with a compressive strain, which means that I can tune the interactions of the system and also change the lattice geometries on it. And we will actually see by combining these two effects that we can move into a new metallic state. So the Hamiltonian of my system is that I'm studying these 3 d orbitals, which all are oriented in different directions, and they're missing one electron from being completely full. Now I also have this strong spin-orbit coupling, which couples spin and orbital degrees of freedom. But I also have these strong interactions, where we both have the ordinary U-Hubbard interaction that is intra-orbital, but we also have these interorbital interactions like the repulsion U and the Hans coupling JH here, which couples between different orbitals. Now, if I do a mean field decoupling of the system, we do see, as we expect, that for a large range of order parameters, we do get this canted antiferromagnetic state, which also earlier work has shown. However, due to studying a large range of order parameters, so all the order parameters that we can get on site for a 2-site system, we can get additional information about the system. So for magnetic properties, we want to study the full magnetic moment. And this consists both of the angular orbital moment L and the spin moment S. So by studying these order parameters, I can get this L in all 3 dimensions, and it can differ between different sides. But you can also decompose the spin momentum into the contributions from different orbitals. So we have them for all 3 of them. In this zero field state, they will all pretty much align and be almost the same. However, that can change later. And what I also want to include here, since we have the spin-orbit coupling, are some order parameters that mix the spin orbital degree of freedom, here big lambda, that here will act as a renormalization of the spin-orbit coupling, effectively making it a bit stronger. Now, for the external magnetic field that I'm adding, I'm studying this as a Zeeman coupling. So you have this external magnetic field H, which can be in any direction, and it couples to the full magnetic moment. This means that it will couple differently to the different orbitals due to their geometry and their direction. Some trends that we can see, even though these are generally small effects, is that if we look at the in-plane field in the x direction, we can see, as we then have seen in J-effective 1/2 pseudospin models, that this canting moment that we have in the antiferromagnet will align with the field and will increase. So we get this increased canting angle. Now what we can see for this multi-orbital model that we can see for the pseudospin model is that we can also see that with applying the same field, we can change the different orbital contributions, like we suspected. And we can see that we now get the different both canting angles and the different strength of the momenta in each orbital. Now this can become interesting if we combine it with some external strain. So we know from experiments that if I have some compressive strain on the system, the main effect is that these rigid octahedra that the iridates reside in just rotate closer to each other, changing the angle. This will affect the hopping between neighboring sites, but it will do so in an orbital dependent manner. I'm using some values from experiments to get values for general strain that is taken from when we have some mismatch strains. We have grown this iridate on some substrate with other lattice parameters. Now, if I study these two effects together, and rather generally, I can see that for when we just had a field, we could apply quite a big field and we still only see these canting effects with the field in plane here. But if you actually add just a small strain, just a bit of it in the order of a percentage or so, we can actually get that these magnetic effects eventually close the gap of the system and we have a metallic state and we will have a Fermi surface. We can look a bit more closely at what this state looks like. And we can do so by considering what band structure we get. So now we will have in the field some Siemens splitting of the bands, but due to having unequal orbital contributions, and due to that from the spin-orbit coupling and this J51.5 state, we mix both spin up and spin down. We get that this band splitting is K-dependent, so it has different strength at different points in the relevance zone, and it appears differently for different bands. This means that we can actually close the gap at a few different points, and we get a Fermi surface which is both spin split, but also only is that at a few different points. Now, this is not what we would be expecting if we just had a J51.5 model, which then just would split it according to that J moment. We can also see that this is orbital dependent due to considering a different direction of the field. We can consider an outer plane field in the Z direction. And we can then see that for the band structure here, we do get a different band splitting, both in different bands and at different points in the relevance zone. So we get a different Fermi surface here, also with band splitting, but at different points. So to conclude what we found here quickly, I can apply a magnetic field to the system and see that we increase the multi-orbital effects. If I combine this with a compressive strain, I can actually, for reasonable values of both, get the new metallic state, which has new multi-orbital properties that we cannot see in the simplest J51.5 model. Now, what I'm working on towards the future and some open questions that we have about the system still, is that we would like to have some quantifiable measure of how far we have gotten from this J51.5 model to possibly engineer how much it affects the system, but also consider possible superconductivity in the system. And if we both could engineer a better system to get the D-wave superconductivity, or for this new metallic system, if it's possible to get other pairing symmetries that might arise. We also know that the iridates in general are similar to the cuprates, and they have a lot of phenomena that we can look at. And since this system has additional effects from the spin-orbit coupling and multi-orbital effects, we might find even more exotic phases than we do in the cuprates. Thank you very much.